the critics hate it and the fans hate it. I want to know where they were when Discovery was going on. I sat through 5 seasons of Star Trek Discovery.
Go ahead, Tilly.
Was it 5 or 7?
First of all, so
I can't even remember now.
I'm very high, but you need to listen to me.
3 seasons of Picard.
Sitting back in your very fine chateau.
Picard.
Sheer hubris.
Picard. Strange New World. Sat through all of that. So far. Sat through 7 episodes of Lower Decks.
Mutiny on my ship?
It feeds on electricity. Many fascinating things upon which to urinate.
You know, Ensign Beckett Meritor. I do what I want.
Never disobey me again. I do what I want.
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
Basically, a female Eric Cartman, isn't she?
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
And they have the nerve to say that this one is the worst of the worst. It's getting slammed by critics. It's getting slammed by fans. They're saying that this one, the IGN article I pulled up on my other video, go check that one out if you haven't seen it. They're saying that that one got the worst, almost the worst score that they could give it. They gave it a 2 out of 10 instead of a 1. And I'm thinking, where were you guys?
I'm very high, but
This Section 31, I really don't want to have to praise this. But when the
I do what I want.
shill media, the flipping shill media, decide that it is now the worst thing that they have ever seen, I just have to wonder, where were you when we saw exactly the same thing, if not worse, in Star Trek Discovery? I said it. Discovery is worse than Section 31.
Oh my gosh.
I think. Well, to be fair, this is only one episode, one movie, one mini movie, one hour 40-minute space romp with the most evil person in the galaxy. So this is basically the evil version of Guardians of the Galaxy, in my opinion. It is not nearly the worst Star Trek from the modern era. We don't even call this Star Trek. This is not canon. This is not in the same universe. This is in another timeline. It's all in another timeline because guess what?
I do what I want.
It's all related to Discovery, which means it's all in another timeline anyway. So we can ignore it as actual Star Trek fans and just kind of look at this as the curiosity looking in from whatever timeline shift and split that has happened.
No biggie. The time travel police.
No!
And if I really, really want to dissect Section 31 with all of its, eyeball gouging and eating, Illuminati symbolism that Alex Kurtzman seems to be signaling to. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I like my little bit of woo occult stuff. I like to put on my tinfoil hat every now and then, and I like to entertain myself with what are they really trying to signal and say.
I do what I want.
When he has characters like Maul and Locke in Star Trek Discovery towards the end, it's like, gee, we're worshiping the Moloch now in Star Trek. Of course we are.
I do what I want.
This is just kind of a generic Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff. So at the beginning of this Section 31, we start off with, I tweeted about this, and if I miss anything, go check out my Twitter thread or not. It's filled with politics and things.
I don't even know what to say.
That is actually a concern. Would have this gotten better ratings if there is a different administration at hand? Or are we allowed to say stuff sucks again?
It's a lot to take.
I mean,
in.
the obvious way to go would be, you have some goddamn nerve.
Are we allowed to just say, yeah, this stuff sucks? It's like a bad B movie. Somebody say it was a bad B movie. Me movie. Somebody said it was a bad B movie. B movie trash. There you go. In a good way. In a good way. I don't know if it's ever necessarily in a good way. So it starts off with young Empress Philippa Georgiou before she's an empress. It's kind of like a Hunger Games thing. She murders her whole family with poison. Spoilers, this is a full-on review. She murders her whole family with poison. She's got some little boyfriend or something that she has to betray, and she burns his face, but she keeps him alive to prove that she's the most evilest, baddest child in the Hunger Games, I suppose. Fast forward to, what, a club?
Laughing way too hard at the stage banter.
Another space club. They're going to recruit people. They have to send a whole ragtag A-team of people to go find her. So we've got a couple of... It's all diversity. It's all diversity. It is all diversity. They don't have pictures of the other guy. There's an Irish robot.
Wonky emotional spectrum.
No. I will not be condescended to, Mel.
Vulcan that laughs. That is a parasite.
Hi there. I'm Fuzz.
Inside of it, or inside of something.
Fuzz is a nanokin.
There's a bald chick, you know, like from Star Trek 1.
Wonky emotional spectrum.
It's basically Space Morocco again, like another bar scene where it's just it wants to be anything but Star Trek. It wants to be a generic heist thing where they have to go in and steal this weapon that she made when she was in the Mirror Universe. And now that she's in this universe, they have to send Starfleet to try. Oh, Rachel Garrett's in this.
True, you're a bad bitch.
We got Rachel Garrett. Where is she? Back here in the corner here. A young version of Rachel Garrett. So they have to go in and dig deep for a character we kind of recognize. We recognize that. I know that. I remember that.
Love that for us.
I'm not pulling up the Memberberry clip. I probably will pull up the Memberberry clip at some point.
Open your mind.
That's the Mighty Boosh. That's not Memberberries. This plays so much more on just filler, I think, at this point. I believe there was something going on with her contract, Michelle Yeoh's contract, where they couldn't hold her hostage any longer, because they've been putting this one in the works, quote unquote, for 7 years now, since 2017, 2018, and they have tied her to this, and now she has won an Oscar and does not want to be tied down to a series that's going to take 5 years to shoot, 3 episodes a year. So she doesn't want to be tied down to that. However, this is a backdoor pilot to this. We'll get into that because it plays out exactly like a backdoor pilot at the end. And sometimes the backdoor is exit only when it's crap like Star Trek Discovery.
Hi there. I'm Fuzz.
You know, you don't shove that shit back up inside. You want to expel that and maybe stick a plug in it instead because it might be more comfortable. Or I don't know what I'm talking about. It's getting destroyed by critics and fans. Okay, so back to the story. They shifts in and out of a hotel to go and grab this thing from, surprise, the dude she burned as a child, and then we get a big long flashback scene. She thinks, while she's the evil empress, that he's going to unalive himself while he's delivering this thing to her, because his whole team unalived themselves because of how horrible and awful she is.
Wonky emotional spectrum. True, you're a bad bitch.
So he's going to steal it back from her, and she's almost face shifting in and out of walls. Oh gosh, this is just a bad Marvel movie. It is a Guardians of the Galaxy style romp that's trying to be funny-ish, is trying to be lively, is trying to be modern, very modern. They speak very modernly. I don't believe this is in the future at all. I don't believe this is science fiction or Star Trek at all. It plays like a modern day Marvel movie. It does play out like a bad B movie, like a trashy sleazy bees movie. That was banned back in the day. Shoot, a cast of Star Trek scoundrels to die for. No, it's not a cast of Star Trek scoundrels to die for. It is. They're going on to say everything but Star Trek.
Oh, come on, that's funny.
how do I spoil this? Well, I mean, you're going to get spoiled at the end. Rachel Garrett finds a banned item in the Federation, a toy in this garbage scow they end up stealing at some point, and it is made out of a very explosive battery material. Apparently the thing's almost sentient. He's like, oh no, I'm going to die. We're gonna be ended. Can I even say that word? I don't know if that's a censorable word. Oh no, everything is going to be destroyed. You're meanwhile, you're rooting for Philip Giorgio to explode.
It's happening.
And she stops him. He stops himself. She lets him get a few good hits in. Like, okay, so... Of course, they save the day and transport everybody out to safety at the end of the day, except for the little microscopic bug thing that's controlling the Irish Vulcan that laughs uncontrollably like an idiot. Is this the worst Star Trek I've seen? No, not by far. Not by far. Everybody gets together at the end at a bar where they're yucking it up like, oh no, Philip Giorgio, do we accept a drink from you? Or because you're going to, murder us. But you're a murderer, but you're our murderer, and we kind of love you. And then they all spit their drink out.
You're a terrifying, soulless murderer who we can never truly trust.
And Jamie Lee Curtis.
Getting rid of things before they turn bad is important.
To sell you yogurt. No, she's basically like their Bosley or something. She's basically going off and saying, hey, now we have to have Starfleet there to watch you, so that's why we're sending Rachel Garrett, but we don't trust any of you because...
You lot are gonna cost me my job.
One of you, is this guy Australian? It was like an Australian mech guy, like a cybernetically implanted guy. That's the thing in the Star Trek universe. You have a lot of people with cybernetic implants. Jamie Lee Curtis has cybernetic implants. She looks like a Borg. Everybody looks like they're a Borg with all these metal pieces and chunks hanging out of them.
My better judgment has been screaming at me for 2 days.
Is this the worst one? No. Is this worth a watch? No. I mean, no. Maybe if you're curious. I mean, it has been 7 years since they've announced it. So maybe if you're curious, what would I give it? I'm going to give it higher than a lot of the critics and fans. Rotten Tomatoes is giving it a 24%. I think I would give it probably a 4 out of 10. I would get a 4 out of 10. Will I ever watch it again? No, I'm never going to watch it again. If they make more, will I watch it? Probably, because I'm that much of a Star Trek masochist, apparently. I've got to watch all the bad stuff, and I'm convinced that Alex Kurtzman is just trying to signal and nod and blink his way into the Illuminati or something. That's all these are really designed for, or whoever's in charge of running these things. And they're trying to hold Michelle Yeoh hostage for bad television because now they have an Oscar winner that can trot out. So I am Mecca. Did you watch Section 31? Will you watch Section 31? A top critic. Camaraderie has always been an element in Star Trek, but notably, I'm trying to read the little one, notably absent from this completely played yet tiresome team. The film, for That Is What We Have, is derivating, if sometimes frustrating. Yeah, people don't like this. This is horrible. What is this? Please go back to film school, don't embarrass yourself, and direct anything else from now on. Yeah, the camera, the direction is really bad. There's a lot of shaky camera. You can't really see the action anyway. Nothing really is that interesting to look at. It's not very brightly lit. Again. A lot of these photos, they've been altered to brighten them up so you can actually see them. Much of it looks like modern, dark, murky, paid-for television streaming service stuff. This is just made so that you're there like, okay, well, I've got the streaming service because I have the Walmart grocery delivery thing, and here we go. Now I might as well watch Star Trek because it's on the thing. Did you watch it? Will you watch it? I'll probably watch more if they make it. It's very much a backdoor pilot, and like I said, sometimes the backdoor is exit only. When it comes to bad Star Trek, for me, it's exit only, but whatever.
What's more American than a cheeseburger?
No, not hamburgers. I'm Becca. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.
Getting rid of things before they turn bad is important. The same goes for things in your digestive system.
take a nap.